Hey everybody, McKyler here real quick to remind you to go check out our Patreon. We've got 7 bonus episodes up there right now and an 8th one coming up soon. If that's something that sounds fun to you, go sign up at patreon.com/doing learning. Hope to see you over there. Welcome to Doing Learning, everybody. It's your host, McKyler, and I've got your co-host right over there across from me. His name's Daniel.
Yoo-hoo.
I was like Michael Jackson, like channeling your inner Michael Jackson.
No, that's
That okay. I stand corrected. It's fun that you did that because of the topic tonight. Has nothing to do with that. No, I'm just messing with you. The topic I want to talk to you about, Daniel, it's one. It's always been there. And it's just like, oh, that's not a topic because it's just so, for me, it's like so prevalent in my life, but for other people, it very much doesn't show up. But like, you guys all know this about me. You know, I'm an old man, Daniel. We've talked about this. What would you say is my most old man hobby?
birding.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You didn't even have to think that hard about it, did you? I get so much flack for it. You know what else I get? A lot of questions.
Yeah.
I actually do.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I was inspired by my wife. She's like, people ask you all the time questions about it. Like, people don't actually know about birding. You should tell people about birding.
Yeah, because it seems so simple. It seems
so simple.
Like this, but like I know from what you've told me a lot, right? But I know it can get so complicated. It's far more interesting than you might initially expect. Oh, I guess not complicated, more intricate. That's the better word, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the depth to it.
Yeah.
I think that's where I find a lot of the charm. Is it's kind of the gift that keeps on giving.
Right.
And it's, the more you put into it is kind of the more you get out of it.
Okay.
So it's kind of, it's a really, really interesting, like from a hobby perspective is really cool. And then just from like a nature point of view is really cool. So I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to talk about it because I get 2 kind of reactions to when I tell people like, oh, I do birding or, I'm really into birds, like that kind of sort of thing. Is I just kind of get like oh, okay, cool. Sounds good, old man, kind of reaction. Or I get, have you seen The Big Year? That's the only other reaction I get, which have you seen The Big Year, Daniel? I have seen it now. I've finally seen it. So I can tell you, yes, I've seen it. It's pretty good.
I don't even know what that is.
Okay. So we'll start there. So birding is a lot. I don't know. Some people like to draw this line between birding and bird watching. And think about it in this way is birding is like checking birds off of a checklist and like trying to see as many as you can. And like The Big Year, what that's all about, and it's a real thing that people do, is it's like a global competition for whoever can spot the most unique species in a calendar year.
Okay.
So I think in the movie it's limited to North America. I think that's true. But in reality, there's the Big Year, like top birders global. So they will literally be on an airplane every single day or every other day to travel to locations to find specific birds that are like really hard to find or only in specific places at certain times. So they have to like time these things right, or a storm will come through. So then they got to come get all these weird birds. So like in the movie, like that's one thing that happens is like a storm. And so it pulls in a bunch of birds from like the Caribbean and Mexico, birds that wouldn't normally be in the United States. So it's just like a really good opportunity to check a whole bunch of birds off the list that'll never show up under normal circumstances. So that's That's what the movie is. That's the big year. It's a real thing. People do that. They'll like take a year off of work and like just go see how many birds they can find.
That's insane.
Maybe should we start with some stats? Since we're talking big year,
like your personal stats or
my personal birding stats.
Yeah,
I only really have one stat.
Okay. Shoot me some numbers.
It's how many unique species I have on. It's called my life list.
Mm-hmm.
So I used an app. It's called Merlin. It's really good. It's put on by Cornell, the college.
Okay.
Merlin is kind of like they make two versions of it. Merlin is like it's really good for identifying. It's good for keeping track of your life list. It's very much like the hobbyist kind of collector version.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another version called eBird that is like citizen science, which I find fascinating. And so they actually take like public data. Like if I put in, hey, I saw this many birds, that's how they track migration of species. It's one way they track migration of species. So they'll be like, oh, a bunch of people in Denver just reported this bird. Oh, now people in Cheyenne are reporting this bird. Billings, Montana. So they can track a species migration and stuff. Okay, cool. Whatever. So those are the two that I would recommend. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. My life list. Do you want to play the guessing game? I always make you play the guessing game. Let me look at the very first bird I ever reported on Merlin. There's way more than that. What are we doing here? Hang on. Let me flip it upside down. I'll do last first and first last. Wait. Oh, okay. It is upside down already. I was wrong. Since August 27th, 2020.
Okay. So you're going up on 5 years.
I'm coming up on my 5th year of keeping track of my birds. How many, you know how much I've traveled.
Yes.
Different places I've traveled to.
Ooh. That means the numbers would just go up higher.
I mean, you don't even know where to start, do you?
No, because I was like, initially, like the first number that came to my head, 285. Don't know why. But then.
I love the vibes. That's a vibes only guess right there.
And then I started thinking, you do travel. Okay. The next random number that came to my head, 407.
Okay.
And I'm guessing, I mean, I could be completely off. I could be completely on. I don't know, but that's where I'm going.
All right. That's a pretty fair guess. I'll tell you, you're actually a lot closer than I figured you'd guess, just because I give you absolutely nothing to work with, right?
Okay.
My life list is 533 species.
Okay.
So, like, how many birds can you think of off the top of your head?
3.
Yeah, right. And that's where I was for the very longest time of like, when I first started noticing birds, I was just like, oh my gosh, there are more than 4. Like, that was my exact thought. I was like, what is that? I was like, wait a second, that's not a robin or a crow or a goose. It's like, there are more, right? And I'm like a grown person. Like, how old am I now, right? I'm like, well, that's the day I turned old, I think, is when I noticed that there's more than 3 species of birds.
So by that fact, I'm still not old because
you're still young, man.
I just recognized 3.
So I think maybe this will make you old tonight just by osmosis. Like, I'll give you the information. There's nothing you can do about it. Okay. I'll tell you right now, there's more than 3 birds. There are more than 3 birds. Why don't I start with why I like birding as a hobby?
Yeah.
This is my pitch. Birding is cool because it's a hobby that is tacked onto other hobbies. So if you're hiking, if you're out walking, if you're outside, it doesn't matter what you're doing or where you're at, there will be birds.
Right.
The vast majority of cases, you can find places there's no birds, right? I mean, desolate areas that can't support birds are not going to have birds. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm like, if you're going to walk through the park, you're going to see birds. You hang out on your front porch, you're going to see birds, right? All of that kind of stuff. So it's a hobby that you can do when you're doing other hobbies. You can do it your whole life. It's very low effort, right? Because all you have to do is go outside. So in that way, that's wild. People do it,
right?
Is because it's easy to do. They they get a lot of enjoyment out of it without a ton of effort, right? It's given me a bigger appreciation for nature. So it's like, it's something that's always constantly been around, right? Like I grew up in the country.
Yeah.
And never noticed the birds. Right. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. Like I never really noticed. Like I noticed some of the songs, but I never looked at what was singing. It was just like, oh, that's robin. That's a robin. That's all there is.
Yeah.
It's the only birds. Because here's a fun little factoid. I'll sprinkle these in as we go. American robin is the largest population of a single bird species on the planet.
Okay.
American robin is number one. So that's why they're everywhere. You can do it everywhere. It just kind of keeps going. You can do it anywhere. So if I travel, my hobby comes with me, but it also is different. So as soon as you go somewhere else, the species are different. There's different stuff to look at. So it's a hobby I can take with me. I can do with no equipment if I wanted to. It helps if you have equipment, of course. We can talk about that if you want to. But yeah, you could take it with you. I can do it forever and it'll just kind of keep going and going and going. And then every year, like during migration cycles, it kind of rejuvenates itself, right? Because pretty soon hummingbirds are going to be coming back through.
Okay.
And that's fun.
Yeah.
This is neat, right? Like they're neat little weird birds that do cool stuff and they act funny. So, and they're pretty to look at if you get a chance. So that's kind of why I like it.
Yeah.
I know I'm convincing you to just drop everything right now and just go outside and start looking
for birds.
So there is a thing called, I think they call it this. I definitely had one, but I didn't know that it had like a name of like a spark bird. Like people that get into birding, there's always like your species of bird that was like, whoa, what the heck was that? I'm gonna
research it a little bit. Like, what is it?
Yeah. So mine was, and it's funny that I look back at this because I was 100% completely, totally wrong in the identification of this bird. Mine was a downy woodpecker. Okay. Which you've seen. I know you've seen them, but you've never noticed them.
I don't know. I might have.
Maybe
there's an annoying woodpecker by my house.
Then it could be this one. That's a downy woodpecker. Yep. Okay, so that's your annoying bird. Probably.
I didn't know what it was called, but yeah, it's just annoying.
Yep. So it's funny, and why I'm making fun of myself is I identified it as a hairy woodpecker. Daniel, look at this bird. You're convinced I just showed you the same picture, aren't you? I saw the look in your eye. You said that's the same exact picture.
I mean, the only difference I see is a little swoosh of orange or red. And
the other one had orange too.
Shut up.
I'm not kidding you.
Oh my.
I'm not kidding you.
Okay, maybe that's the one I saw in my house. I don't know.
It's red in this one, but it can be orange. So I saw this bird and I went, what on earth is that? That's cool. And then I was like, I wonder what it was. So I started looking at it and I was like, I did exactly what you're doing. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's two birds that look identical. How on earth am I supposed to know what the difference is?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is insane. Not only are there more than 3 birds, there's 2 that look the same and they're different. Like, what? This makes no sense. Then I found this app. And I was like, okay. I just need an app that it will help me identify birds. And that's what this app does. You tell it like roughly what size it is in comparison to other birds, what it was doing. what colors it is, and like that kind of stuff. And based on your location and all that other information, it'll be like, hey, it was probably one of these couple of birds.
XYZ, yeah.
And so I was like, okay, cool. That's funny. If you go through all of those things, it tells you those 2 birds. That's why it's wrong in my phone, because I identified it as a hairy woodpecker, but I know more now. And I know enough to know why it wouldn't be a hairy woodpecker, and it's why it's a downy woodpecker. There are 3 really big differences. You're shocked, I know. There are 3 really big differences in that particular bird.
Lay it on me.
One is the beak size. I could show you again.
Sure, please.
I'll show you again. You didn't notice this the first time. Okay. Zoom your eyes into this. Relative to its head, look at its beak size, okay?
Okay.
Just keep that in mind.
Okay, don't tell me which one is which. Or I guess.
Okay, I'll just show you the other one and you tell me what the difference is.
Oh, this one's much smaller.
The beak is way smaller.
Way smaller.
But when you're looking at it, you're just like, that's exactly the same bird. Mm-hmm. It's not. It's not even close. This is like an inch shorter.
Yeah.
The other thing that you can't tell in these pictures is that this bird is like half the size of the other one. So you can't tell that. Size is one of the worst indicators of a bird species because it's relative. You can't tell how big stuff is, especially when it's flying. But it's the most common one. So people will go to size first.
Yeah.
Even though it's the worst one. The other thing that I know is that hairy woodpeckers they don't like this low of elevation. They like to be higher up. So I know that they like to be higher up in the forest. They absolutely do come down here. They're just pretty uncommon. So
gotcha.
From a statistics point of view, it's way more likely that it's going to be a downy than it would be a hairy. So,
but what if the one that you saw was a hairy?
It could have been. I'm pretty sure it wasn't, but yeah, that's why looking back at it, because once you see one, you're like, okay, I got it. And you see the other one, you go, oh, okay, that's way different. That is way different.
Yeah.
Like, I get it now. Cause like these ones, the hairies are like bigger than robins. They're like a decent bird. They're pretty big. And the downies are like itty bitty little guys.
Okay.
There's definitely birds smaller than them, but they're they're quite small. So that was my spark bird. That got me onto the app because I was like, I can't tell what the heck this dumb thing is. This is driving me nuts. And then I found out that thing will collect them for me. So that's another reason I have it as a hobby is I can collect them. And all it does is it changes a little number on my phone. It doesn't take up any space in my house. And yeah, that checklist that comes with me. Mm-hmm. So that's like where birders kind of start getting a little wild, is like that drive to collect. And that's where this is so funny for me to say out loud. Like birders can get a bad rap of just like in the birding community.
Okay.
There is like some negative connotations with birding of like people will show up to see the bird, and then just get the heck out. Like they just are there to check it off a list and move on.
Yeah.
And not like appreciate it for what it is.
Right.
Kind of sort of thing. So that's another thing I can tell you about too, is the Merlin's and the Cornell site. They have basically an alert system that I subscribe to it. It'll tell me of like, hey, there's a bird in your county that you haven't seen. This is where other people have located it. And so I can specify it for my bird list. And then it's also for things like, there's a the super rare list is called an ABA rarity, which those are ones that like, they should not be in the United States. And there's been a couple in Colorado, and like the last year there might've been 2. So they definitely happened, but they're like a bird that normally is in Russia migrated the wrong way. Like they went east instead of west and ended up in the United States instead of Russia. So it's stuff like that.
And I'm guessing those birds genetics of that bird don't make it very far.
Yeah, that's kind of the weird part about it is like, and I definitely feel that way too, is like, oh, cool, a rare bird. It's just like that guy is lost and he's probably not going to make it.
Yeah.
Because he's not supposed to be here.
Exactly.
So it's kind of a sad thing.
Yeah.
And like I like to find them and try to appreciate them for what they are.
Yeah.
Because they are here. That's not going to change anything.
Right.
But the fact that they are here is generally, it's not good for that bird. It's not. Like I remember one specifically, there was a brown pelican at Chatfield. You've seen pelicans floating around, huge, big white suckers. I love to watch them fly because they look like yachts. It doesn't look like it should be possible. But there's a brown pelican. You see brown pelicans like on the coast all the time. Crazy. You don't see white pelicans. You see brown ones on the coast. There was one in town and people were going bonkers trying to find it. You had to hike in Chatfield. There was like that kind of swampy area.
Yeah.
You had to hike through that in order to just get a glance at it on the little island out in the water. And it was cool to find it. We found it. But like, and people were doing that. They'd come out, they'd like get their binos, they'd look at it and they'd be like, okay, cool. And then they'd leave. And we were looking at it and it was like, that thing was sick. It was not doing okay. Yeah. I know that one did not make it. So it was just like that kind of juxtaposition of just like people there to collect it versus like I'm watching it die was like, it was really weird.
Yeah.
It's like, this kind of sucks. As cool as this is to see this bird, it sucks. And like, I didn't really care that much because I've seen them in other places. I'm fortunate enough to travel and see birds in other places.
Yeah, of course.
But other people, they're like, unless they travel, they might not ever see one ever again. Yeah. It's like, I kind of get it. So yeah. So it's kind of a weird hobby.
What stops people from just saying they saw something?
Nothing. I think it happens all the time. It's really, we've already talked about it. It is really, really easy to misidentify birds because this is one example. I should show you the list of sparrows. There's so many, dozens and dozens of species of sparrows just in the United States. Dude, they all look exactly the same.
So, how does that play into the big year?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
How does that play? Like, you think you identified this bird and you're like, it's a competition or whatever. How does that factor in? Like, oh, you saw this bird, but it actually wasn't that bird. Or
so with the big year itself, I'm not exactly sure because I think there are cases where you can't necessarily verify that a bird was there. So when you're for most of the time that the eBird that I was telling you about, there are people that monitor that. It's really cool. So it's come up a couple of times for us of if you report a bird that is like extraordinarily rare for that area, it gets flagged and then somebody reviews it. And when you see something rare, you have to fill out a description or post a picture. And then somebody, a human being, reviews that, looks at where you are, what your description was, a picture if you have it, and they will like an expert. That's one way they do it. They say, that's like the first way they do it, to where they say, yep, you did see that bird, good for you. Or they'll be like, can you give me more information? Do you have a picture? This doesn't make any sense. Like you're 3 months early from when we normally see these birds. Like maybe you did see them, but they're extremely low in those cases. So sometimes like you might just be wrong. They'll have you go fix it, or they'll give you the credit for it. It still goes on my life list, but they don't publish it to the public. So on those alerts that I get, they don't show up immediately. But if other people report that bird in that area, then it's kind of like a verified by. Oh,
it like validates the fact that you saw one.
Yes. And so I don't know how exactly that works, but like on the more rare species, it will say verified on the listing. to where it says like the folks at Cornell have looked at it and said, yes, that bird is there, or there's enough people that have reported it there that kind of that verify that that is a legit sighting. There was last year, there was, I think, only one new bird species. Like it was the very first time it had ever been reported in Colorado.
You said last year?
I think it was last year, 2023. It took them, I hesitate because it took them like 6 months to a year to verify that. They had a photo of it and everything in a location. Wow. And they still took the process because it was a first ever sighting of that bird in the state of Colorado. They take it very seriously.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah. So yeah, it took them that long. And then they give the credit out to so-and-so and so-and-so spotted this first. You know, congratulations on the first ever sighting in Colorado. Like this whole thing.
Yeah, it sounds like a big ordeal. That's crazy.
You absolutely can fake it, but there are quite a few kind of stop gaps in there too from getting you from like doing anything too crazy. We definitely like look through the list and stuff when we're like looking for where should we go? Where should we look for birds? Where's hot right now? What are people seeing and where, kind of sort of thing. You'll look at them and you'll be like, I'm trying to think of a decent example. But there might be like, we saw like a specific duck at this lake, and you go there and it's really easy. And you're like, you'll see another duck where there's like one of them that can be easily mistaken for the duck that was reported. And you're like, there's no way that they saw this duck because it's this one. You know what I mean? Like you just there's a ton of doubt in some of the reports. So that absolutely does happen. And people they're like, well, it could be duck A or duck B. I don't have duck B on my life list, so I'm going to report duck B. That happens. That completely happens.
Yeah.
We kind of started doing, one thing that we don't do is it's technically, so there's like rules, I do air quotes, for like counting birds, like from this whole process, there's like a whole thing behind it, is you are allowed to count a bird as like you've spotted it if you hear it. Like if you hear that bird, then it counts as you, like it could go on my life list.
Okay.
I think that's dumb because I want to see it. So I do not do that. So if I hear a bird and I'm like, I know that's a bird I've never seen, I work my butt off to try to find it so I can see it, so then I can count it. If I heard it only, I do not count it. But a lot of people do. So you'll get the reports. They'll just be like, heard only, I only heard it over here, and they never see it. So there are some birds that are extremely difficult to find because of that. Like a Virginia rail or a Sora are birds that are like the size of like an orange or something, like a grapefruit maybe. And they hang out in marshy areas in really tall reeds, and they do not come out. And they're fast, so they just like skirting around them there. They're very difficult to see. So people will be like, that one, like, heard it over here. I heard it. And so those are some that like I've never seen, but I've heard.
But you still don't count it as...
I don't count it unless I see it. And then the next step of that would be, don't count it unless you take a picture of it, which I know some people that do that.
Do you partake in that?
I try, but if I know for a fact, like I know, like if I cannot tell if it's between bird A and bird B, it could totally be either one, then I leave it.
I don't count it.
I'd say bummer. But if I can get a picture, right, that helps. That always helps. But if I look at it and I know without a shadow of a doubt, like this bird is unique, there's none other like it, I count it.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a fairly reasonable approach. Do you want to know my favorite bird that I've ever seen on my 533? It's this one. I'll show you a picture of it.
If it's not green, I don't want it.
Daniel, it's green.
That's sick.
It is a resplendent quetzal. It's considered to some to be the most beautiful bird in the world. It's not.
And you've seen this.
I've seen this with my eyes.
Is this your picture?
No. At the time when we saw them was very, very early on in our birding. This is a really kind of a funny story. Where I saw this, we're gonna go back there this year.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hopefully I can get a picture of one.
Just like.
But at the time when we went, I wonder where it is on my life list. Let's go look real quick.
Okay. I'll look on my life list too. You got this, McKyler.
It is number 70 on my list.
Oh, dang.
Out of 533.
Yeah.
So pretty early on in my birding hobby here. What was funny about when we went to go to this, it's a nature reserve. So it's just an area of the Costa Rican rainforest it's just marked to be nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
With some trails in it. When we went, I had like $15 or $20 pair of binoculars. And that was kind of the deal, was just like, I kind of find this interesting. So I was like, okay, here's a cheap pair of binoculars. Prove that I like the hobby before I move into anything nicer than that.
That makes sense.
And I think that's a great idea for many, many hobbies.
Yep.
So that's where I started, was trying to take a picture of this thing through my $20 pair of binoculars, where one eye of it didn't work. So that was, that was kind of my start to birding, was just like this really, really awful set of binoculars that really was a great start for me. I've come a long way from that one, clearly. But that one I think is my favorite bird we've ever seen anywhere.
Yeah.
I think my favorite bird kind of around here that I see like all the time, maybe kind of like bring it way more locally. You've seen these guys. I know this one for sure. This is a black-capped chickadee.
Mm-hmm.
They're everywhere around here. I really like these guys for a couple of reasons. They're very small. They're very cute. They overwinter in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
They stay here all year long. So I think they're tough for their size. They're pretty neat like that. They hide seeds everywhere. So like if they go to my feeder, they'll pick a seed off and they go hide it, and they come back, get another seed, hide it somewhere else, get another seed and hide it somewhere else. So at any given time, they've got thousands of seeds hidden.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they spend their day doing, is like putting food everywhere. So then when they go get hungry, they remember all of these spots that they put seeds at, and they can go eat.
They actually remember all their spots, unlike like not birds related, but like unlike squirrels, where
they'll forget them and plant trees and stuff like that. Yeah, no, they'll remember, and then they'll go eat them when they need to. Which I don't know. I just think they're really neat. They're fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
They're the ones. In the springtime, they sing a song that sounds like old squeaky swings. Like next time you're outside, take a listen, and you'll probably. I was gonna say it sounds like kids swinging on an old squeaky swing set.
Okay,
and it's this bird. And like when I finally realized that, I was like, "Oh my gosh, that was a bird!" I'm like, "Oh my gosh!"
This whole time, I thought it was
forever. I just figured there's always a swing set nearby. It's like, oh my gosh, that's so dumb. But I never thought it was a bird.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I really like those guys. They're really, really fun to watch. They're always around. Neat little dudes. Let's see what else. What else about, because people ask me about birding. You'd be surprised. Like I've gotten people come up to me and be like, I've thought about getting into it. And it's just like, you can just look around. Like,
right.
All you have to do is like, oh, look, a bird. Like, you know what I mean? There's not much. A pair of binoculars is game changing. And then a camera is like the next step. But that's a whole nother game, right? You've seen my getup, I'm sure, right?
Yes.
I've got a heck of a get up for my camera stuff.
Have you upgraded since Granby? Because that's, I think, the last time I actually saw your full gear.
No, I think that was the full suite. I think.
Okay.
I shoot on a Nikon Z8, and I have the Nikon 180 to 600 millimeter telephoto lens. That sucker is like 1.5 feet long.
One more.
The whole thing weighs like 8 pounds. I think it's strapped to my chest when I walk around.
Yeah,
it's quite the get up, but it's pretty amazing technology, and I get some pretty sweet pictures from it.
I've seen some of them. They're freaking amazing.
I have an Instagram that's Mux Ducks, and I don't do a very good job at it, but I put my pictures there. I print some of them off.
You should definitely put more on.
I should put more on there. It's been a little while. There's a couple of big trips that have not made it onto there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I need to do that, and maybe after this summer, we're gonna go birding again.
Yep.
Hopefully I get a picture of this resplendent quetzal, and I'll put some more on there.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother thing in and of itself. Is like bird photography is just a complete rabbit hole that's probably not worth going into, but it's a very, very fun hobby that, again, it's just an excuse to go outside and walk around, that I find a ton. So, and what else do I do? Like when I'm walking around looking for birds, like what does it look like to look for birds? Because it's funny when I go with people that aren't used to looking for birds, like there's kind of a muscle memory to it, right? And like a habit, and you kind of learn some of it. Is like, what are you looking for? Where are you looking for it? Like, so like, what are you looking for? The first thing you're going to be looking for movement. Mm-hmm. You probably already know kind of what birds you're expecting to find there.
Okay, because you're familiar with the area, the birds in the area, and all this stuff. Okay.
Or I've done enough research to be like, what's worth seeing in this place? I'm going to go see, or what are other people reporting? That looks cool. Gotcha. I want to see that too. So by looking that up, you can say, well, I'm looking for, here's a fun example. Let me pull up another picture, because birds don't mean anything if you're not looking at a picture of them.
They might. I mean, they mean stuff to
you.
All
right, I will tell you, and then you tell me what it means to you.
What it means to me, or if it means anything to me. Okay, hit me with it.
Oscillated antbird.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it does sound cool. Let me get, this picture's not getting as big as I want it to. This little guy.
Oh, that looks like it's wearing a cool little mask.
Yeah, it's very, 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 very vibrant blue. Mm-hmm. This little guy is extremely difficult to find. You can only find it in like equatorial countries, in like Middle and South America. So I saw it in Panama. I don't think it goes any further north than that. I think it goes as far south as like Colombia, maybe like Ecuador, Brazil, maybe.
Yeah.
So pretty limited area to find it. And then it's extremely difficult to find. But how you can find it is by tracking its behavior, because it's an ant bird. So what does that mean? It means it likes to eat ants.
Follow the ants.
Right. So if you find the ants, maybe you'll get lucky.
Your chances are higher.
Your chances are way higher. So when we're walking around in the rainforest, in the jungle.
Yep.
And we're walking along this trail, and pretty soon there was a super highway of ants going across this trail. It's probably 10, 12, 15 feet wide, maybe. This trail of ants going from right to left, it was seriously at some points like 4 feet wide.
Oh, dang.
Of just like a whole swarm of ants constantly, like a seriously super highway.
No, let's just pause it there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Seeing stuff like that, like, does it make you feel a certain way? Like, this is nature's crazy, or like what the hell?
It's a little mix of all of that. 'Cause it's like, if we were 10 feet past that, we would have missed it entirely.
Right.
Right. It's like such a quiet event, but at the same time, so intensely chaotic that, like, it's all a perspective thing, right? Like, we could have easily missed it, but like, if you zoom in and look at these ants, like, this is everything. And so it's just crazy to see that volume of ants doing a thing, right? Acting on their instincts, doing their thing. And then the birds start coming.
Yeah.
Because they're going to feast, right? Because this is a feast. So seeing something like that is extremely unique, I think.
No, it is.
I mean, I think it's very unique.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything quite like it. And so it's just, it's mind blowing of just like nature is going to do its thing regardless if you're paying attention or not.
Right.
So I think it's more fun to pay attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And don't miss out on those kinds of things.
For sure.
So I don't know. I think that, there are many, all these like really small moments that are really easy to pass up. They don't maybe sound like much of anything, but are just like so phenomenal from a nature point of view. And this area was one. We saw the ants, and then there was another time we were on like this bird tower, and like the birds were just is crazy. It's to explain it makes no sense, right? There's just birds constantly around us and like flying around and showing up right next to us on branches, and then they would leave and more would come, and it was like a frenzy because this tower that we were on was several stories high. It went above the canopy.
Mm-hmm.
It had like 4 or 5 platforms on the middle that were separated by like 20 feet each. This thing was tall. And so we were on the middle of these platforms taking pictures and running up and down the stairs to these different levels to get all the pictures of all of these different birds. They were like, there's something over here. There's something over here. Oh my gosh. Like, never seen this bird. There's one over here. Like, just chaos.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds so chaotic.
It was chaos. And like, I'm munching through batteries. We've got 2 cameras going. We're like, just insane. Right. And meanwhile, running up and down this really janky tower, the whole thing shaking. Right. Just so cool. Birds making noise all over the place. Just chaos. It lasted for maybe an hour. Then they're all gone. Just quiet. Like they just kind of run through and then they're gone. And you're just like, we got to witness something really, really special.
Yeah.
And just to be a part of that, like it was going to happen regardless if we were there or not.
Yeah.
And if we were paying attention or not. And
so,
just to be there.
It's not like these towers have food or anything. They just, it's
just right spot, right time.
Dang.
And being up on bird level in the canopy helps. But it was just good timing. Like they were just coming through.
Yeah.
And we just happened to kind of catch all of them.
That's freaking
So
sick.
we saw like, there's all kinds of, I always say, trogons are like a group of species of birds, like sparrows. Trogons are the birds that everybody likes, whether or not they're into birds or not. Just because they look so neat. I'll show you some pictures.
Pictures. Okay. Yeah.
It's kind of a neat.
Yep. I don't think I've seen that one before, but that one looks sick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So. I mean, they all kind of look like that. The Quetzal is actually part of the Trogon family.
Uh-huh.
I like to, I kind of say that like Trogons they're very sneaky, mysterious bird. They're very quiet. And it's kind of like you don't find them, like they let you see them. So I think they're really interesting because you'll just be walking along a trail and you'll look up and there'll be one watching you. They're like jungle spirits. So I don't know. They're really weird. Like they just kind of show up and then they watch you. But they're like really kind eyes. They're like kind of cute, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. They just always seem like they let you see them. And if they didn't want you to see them, you wouldn't see them. So, one thing I forgot to mention about the Quetzal, since I kind of brought it back up, the Quetzal it's called that because of the Mayan, I think I'm going to get this wrong, the Mayan god Quetzalcoatl, which is like their main god.
Yeah.
And they thought that bird was their like god manifesting itself into an animal form and visiting them. So like that's
yeah.
what's associated with trogons on that bird, is like that kind of mystery and like jungle spirits. Like that's kind of the vibe that those birds give off. I can't remember at all what I was telling you. Oh, the ants. I take you back to the ants.
Yeah.
So yes, really, really interesting moment just by itself.
Right.
Just like an insane a flood of ants, like so cool, kind of gross.
Yeah.
Like it was at some point where we're like, we need to cross, otherwise we won't be able to cross. It's too wide to get over.
Right.
Without like stepping into the stream of ants. And it's like, I'm not about to do that in the middle of Panama, because I don't know what these ants are up to.
Why
I don't
not?
know if they're like
they won't
spicy
bite you.
Ants or I don't know. They got some stuff out there. I'm not about to mess with it. I got some stories about that one too, but that's probably for another day. So you find the ants, you know the bird you're looking for. You say, oh man, we have a chance.
Yeah.
Let's just wait and see what happens. Pretty soon the birds start coming up. Ant birds, there's different kinds of ant birds show up. And we got lucky enough and we saw, I think there was like 3 or 4 ocellated ant birds that show up, and they're birds that are like on people's list that they'll never see. And so we're just like super, super lucky.
Dang.
Just feel like super blessed to just like see this bird that many people won't ever get to see. Even the people that are looking for them may never see them. Just an elusive kind of like gift that nature is giving you. It's just like, here's this really unique critter.
Now, is that one of the rarest you've seen, or is there?
No, I think the rare ones that they're not quite at what you think they would be necessarily. The quetzal is one of them. There just aren't very many, and they don't live in many places.
Right.
So that's probably one of the most rare ones. A lot of them, like I said, they are in the wrong place. So if you go to the right place, they're there. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah,
you're not going to see a bird here, and then you go down to Florida and they're everywhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just like rarity is kind of a mixed thing. But there are some birds like a quetzal that are truly rare. I think the antbird is a pretty rare one. I'm trying to look at one. Here you go. Here's one that I saw in Alaska. This one is exceedingly rare. It's called a Kitslitz murraylet.
Okay.
It does not look like much. It just kind of looks like a weird duck.
Yeah.
But like with a really pointy small bill.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like much at all. We saw 2 of them, and there's basically like 4 known locations where they've ever been seen. And that one fjord is one of them, where it's like one of the little fingers that you have to take a boat to go see the national park and watch the glaciers calve.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you'll get lucky and see those birds there.
And you just happen to be ready.
Yeah, there were 2 of them. We just so happened to see them. All the crew was like, oh, there's this bird over here. We're like, we understand most people aren't into this, but like this bird is like, people go their whole lives looking for this thing, and it's right there.
Yeah.
So that one is probably one of the rarest birds I've seen too, but it just doesn't look like much. Yeah. It's just hard to find.
That's cool. That's so crazy, because it doesn't have to be like extravagant or all this or that to be like
it. And that's I think kind of like the root of the hobby is just appreciating a thing for what it is. So even looking at like a freaking Canada goose, which they're pests, they're everywhere, right? They're loud, they're annoying, but just like they're kind of neat in some ways, just like appreciating them for what they are,
right,
what they do, and all that kind of stuff. So it's like these rare ones are really cool because they're hard to find. They don't look like much, but how cool is it that I got the chance to see one?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll remember that forever. I took a picture of them.
Yeah.
It's not a good picture or anything like that, but nothing to write home about. But it was like was like, cool. There's my proof to myself that like
I got it.
I am part of the very, very small population. First of all, that cares, but second of all, that will ever get the chance to see this critter.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of nature out there that is totally worth paying attention to and totally worth seeing, that so easy to pass by and just totally miss it.
Is there a bird that to you it's like the first time around you saw it, you're like, oh cool, I saw it, but now you see every single time it kind of annoys you to see it because you're like
probably a house finch. They're everywhere around here, and they're actually what is the word? They're invasive. From the invasive is probably not exactly what you think of it, but like they were brought from somewhere else. This was like hundreds of years ago. Right. Like they rode on boats across the ocean when people were sailing back and forth across the ocean, right? So they're not native to here, but they're absolutely everywhere. So invasive doesn't necessarily mean bad either. Sometimes it can be. Okay. But it yeah, sometimes they can actually contribute and stuff like that. They're not from here. They were brought here. This is not their native land. That kind of thing. So a house finch, I try to appreciate them. One thing that's really cool about house finches, they're absolutely everywhere. So that's probably the one I get the most fatigue on. Yeah. That's the male. Okay. They're fine looking birds. Yeah. The females, I like them. Well, that's the interesting thing that I was going to talk. Here's the female. They're just brown. They're just a brown bird, right? Most birds are just brown birds. Right. What's cool about the house finches and what I try to appreciate them. Look, this one's yellow. Yellow. Okay. Their color changes based on their diet. This one's orange. Oh. So there's one every now and again that'll come to my feeder called Yellowface, because he's yellow. He's the only yellow one that ever comes by. Most of them are red. But yeah, even those are interesting in their own right. I guess Canada geese are kind of, to me, they're interesting because they're so big. Yeah. Like just big birds are they're weird, and they travel a long way. So I find a lot of that really compelling. You see them everywhere, and they're pests and they're nasty and all of that, and they're mean and all of that stuff. Yes, all of that is totally, completely true. But they do some stuff that's pretty neat. Yeah. Is an ostrich technically considered part of this? I think birding? Yeah, probably. I mean, I know that it's a flightless bird, but would it be considered one to check off on this list? I think, yeah, I think so. Let me just see what pops up so the thing is it's probably not going to come up on my list, because there are so many bird species out there. I think in the world there's like 9,000 or 10,000 unique bird species. And so what I download to my phone, because there's a lot of pictures and information that come with them that take up a ton of space, it's all kind of geographically based. So I have all the birds from, the places that I traveled or the United States. I have those ones loaded, but like ostriches and like African birds, Asian birds and stuff like that, I don't have them downloaded because it's kind of totally pointless. So like ostriches at the zoo don't count? At the zoo do not count. If they're in captivity at all, in any way, shape, or form, if they're domesticated, they do not count. Really? Yep. So you can't just go to a pet store and be like, bloop, nope. Bloop, 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 bloop. Nope. And like, there's, this is a weird one. At the home and garden, well, it's more garden. It's just a garden center. Oh, the one here? No, the one that I grew up at. Oh, okay. So they've as far as I can remember, they had like a farm and stuff next to it too. And they had some, they have some big birds and stuff there too. They have swans for some reason. Swans do come through. They're pretty rare in Colorado, but they definitely do come through. But they have a couple of tundra swans there. I was like, oh, that's weird. They have a peacock too. And for about as long as I can remember, they've had peacocks walking around. 100% does not count. That's a domesticated critter because peacocks do not live in this hemisphere. They live in like Asian areas. There's multiple species, so they vary more than that. But
is Hawaii considered Asian?
Pacific Island is its own thing because it's so unique.
So the peacock I saw down there, that one counts?
I would have my suspicions, honestly.
Why?
It was it's probably brought there and depends on how domestic it was.
I mean, it was roaming around by itself.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know a lot of critters do, but yeah. You know what I'm getting at. They have no business being. That's probably a domesticated bird. Probably.
So if I was a birder and I went to Hawaii to like vacation, saw a couple birds, and then I happened to see a peacock, wouldn't count.
Probably not. Some people might try to count it. I probably wouldn't. I would not count it. I mean, yeah, it's like you said, it's like going to the zoo and being like, look, I saw all these things. It's like, yeah, because someone put it there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you didn't go out and see it, like where it's supposed to be in its natural habitat. Right. It's a completely different experience. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. Not in my book. So
somebody's book, but not yours.
Somebody's book, but not mine. Again, those are the same people that count sound. It's like, well, of course you heard it, but what about like a mockingbird? They can make like dozens and dozens of bird sounds that are not like they make other bird sounds. Mm-hmm. If you heard it, how are you supposed to know? Like if you happen to be in an area that could have a mockingbird, like, buddy, no, that doesn't.
You take your chances.
Yeah. If you're going for the high score, man, you got to do what you got to do.
I mean, you do. You don't play fairly, dude.
You got to cheat to win when it comes to the bird list. Yeah, no, I mean, it gets pretty cutthroat out there, man. The birding's not for everybody, but I think it could be.
You want it to be for everyone, just so you can have. I mean, can you have
just so my score can be higher?
Yeah. So your score can be higher than everybody else's.
Oh, no, I think it's really cool. It's a fun, weird niche hobby that I like to share with people. But I mean, it's mostly it's just like, oh, did you see this cool bird? Yeah, it was awesome. It's like, there's not much else to talk about with it, but it's fun to collect new birds and just to do it wherever I go. And it's always different.
So do you start again in the year? I mean, like you personally.
So with the tracking that I do, it tracks for me.
Yeah.
But like, it doesn't reset my life list or anything like that. But I do have like a year list.
Like what you've seen in that year.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it'll split it off from like the United States, world, county, like you name it.
Yeah.
So there's some people that like, they will try to get like the highest in a county or the highest in the state, or they'll try to get like all of the native birds in all of the counties. You can do it however you want, right? It's kind of a build your own adventure for what birds and what bird list you're going for. So it's like, what are you trying to collect?
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask. Like, besides your self-satisfaction of collecting birds,
mm-hmm.
documenting and spotting the most in X county or whatever, what does that get you?
Absolutely nothing.
Just
it's all like I think that's the beautiful thing about it, is just like it's a hobby with no rewards other than your own personal satisfaction
and maybe the respect of a few other local birdists.
Yeah, that would probably be like the most of it. Like if you really like the people that saw that like a bird for the first time, there's maybe not like renown that comes with it, because like you didn't do anything other than you just happened to get really lucky and see something, and like maybe you did some good research and put it together, but like you didn't do anything. The bird is just there.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like the people that do the big year, I don't know that what comes with it other than some kind of notoriety within a really niche community.
Right.
So that's kind of where I'm like, I don't have drive to do that. I just have a drive to like collect my birds, take the pictures of them. You know, I'm like, it's fun to have all the pictures of them. I got them like, on my work background, it'll just cycle through, and just have my pictures pop up. And, people are always like, oh, did you take those pictures? Like, yeah, I took those pictures.
Hell yeah,
like,
I did.
It's fun to take pride in taking a good picture, and then just like capturing a critter, and like kind of getting its essence and kind of its vibes. And I think that's pretty fun too. Just like representing that bird for what it is, what it's good at, what it does.
And I think you do it in a good way. Like you said, like maybe sometimes you go out there for the birds, like specifically for the birds. But I know that there's been some times where we just go hiking and you just take your binoculars just in case.
Yep. You see whatever is there to see.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you're not looking for anything. You're just there for the ride.
Yeah. You're just there.
Most of the time you're going to see all the birds that you normally see all the time. And you're going to see the same 10 constantly. And it's finding joy in that like repetitive thing.
Right.
That I think what makes it really interesting. And I think that's where the real joy is found. Is like being able to do that constantly.
For the off chance that you're going to see that one different bird.
In that, because that always exists.
Yeah.
But just being totally okay with seeing a goose and a house finch and, a robin, and being like, that was still a good day.
Do you in any way, shape, or form try to keep account of how many, like, let's just say what's the house finch? Let's just say because you said there's a yellow one that comes here.
Yeah.
Do you know different or approximately how many come around here? Like, I can say for certain there's about 8 to 10 of them here.
No. And some of those are so, it really depends on the bird species. I'm trying to think. There's like, if there's really small numbers, yes, you can tell the individuals. If they're like a house finch, no. Other than Yellowface, he's the only one where it's just like he stands out because he looks different. So then I know he's different or the same. Right. You know how I'm looking at it. But those ones will come through and they'll be like 8 or 10 or 12 or 15 every time they come through. They might be the same birds. They might be totally different birds. I kind of have no idea.
You should just start taking pictures and documenting this.
They look the same.
But no,
I could try. Because there are some very, like, if I looked close enough, there probably are some unique things.
One of them has a beauty mark or like
something.
Their hair parts a certain way every single time.
Yeah, they got this certain behavior or whatever. That's probably true. There probably are some out there, but
I think in that sense, like just me being me, because I know my personality, I think it would get to the point where I'm like just seeing the same birds.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, do I just want to so I would find like a kind of game about it. Like if I'm going to see the same birds, are they the same birds?
Finding the appreciation in the repetitive.
Yeah.
Like however you want to do it. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And I think that's really cool of identifying an individual and looking for it every year.
Yeah.
There's a hummingbird. I know she's the same one. I call her Little Lady. Because she always keeps a nest in the same spot every year. So I know when she comes back because I go and I look for her. And every time I see her, I go take her picture and I know it's the same one. Because they're very territorial and there's some stuff that goes along with that one. But every time, I go look for Little Lady. Like I know she's out there. So I'll go.
I like how you have like little names for these guys.
Yeah. I think those are the Yellowface and Little Lady are. I think maybe I don't know if I've named other ones. Probably. I'll probably name all kinds of stuff. What else was I going to say about that? Oh yeah. Just like the other bird species, like there's a couple of ravens around here. Oh, there's another one. I call him King Super because he always stands on top of King Supers. So I call him King Super because he's freaking enormous. Because we have ravens down here. Not everyone in Colorado has ravens. They just have crows. So that's kind of fun. You may not know the difference. If you ever look at a crow and go, that is a huge crow, it's probably a raven. I already told you size is the worst way.
Yeah.
But, again, it's the most common way. So if you say that, it's probably a raven, but there's other ways to tell you, but I won't bog you down with it.
I mean, I need to know what the crow is because crows are the best birds to befriend.
You can befriend them. I would say ravens would be better because ravens are nicer. Crows carry grudges and they pass them on hereditary lines,
and that's
which is wild, but they're mean.
Well, that's what freaking awesome about it.
It's very cool.
Freaking grow an army of crows. I mean, any good anime, if I've seen one, you befriend the crow, you're freaking god. You're just like, come at me with my birds.
I can't wait to just see you out in your front yard, like, come here, birds. Let's be friends.
Daniel really took to those crows and just ran with it.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen him in a while. We had to stop the podcast. He just gave everything up and became one with the crows. He wanted to be on an anime. I would rather be a friend with a raven because I think they're cooler. And for two reasons. They're not mean. They don't carry grudges like that. And they do acrobatics, which I think is really neat. So if you ever see a black bird and it flies upside down, like tucks its wings and does like a barrel roll, it's a raven. Crows do not do that. Like they have fun when they fly. It's really weird. It's funny that like if I was a bird, I'd be like, woo, like getting all twisted, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Not a lot of birds do that. It's very utilitarian, but ravens, they play.
Interesting.
So I think ravens are really cool for that reason. But so like the ravens I can keep track of. The blue jays, there's only like 3 or 4 that ever come through. The ones that are smaller numbers are easier to keep track of.
Right.
And I know those ones are repeat customers more or less. But yeah, I guess those are the only 3 that I can think of their names of that I've named by looking out my window. Yeah. King Super, Yellow Face, and Little Lady.
Little Lady.
Yeah. So I hope she's coming back soon. We should probably tidy this one up. And we'll put a picture of Little Lady on the
that'd be
post
awesome.
at some point on Instagram or something like that.
100%.
Which, Daniel, is Instagram a thing that people should follow?
It can be. It definitely should be.
How would they possibly do that if the folks were looking for it?
I mean, if you have an Instagram, all you got to do is put that little search and put Doing Learning Pod and boom, we're right there.
We'll pop right up.
And you just hit that little follow.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get all the juicy details.
You got to follow. Which, speaking of, if you haven't already, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, any of the other ones, if you might be listening for a while now, but make sure you hit that follow for a couple things. You don't want to miss out on anything. And the other thing it does is it'll help our numbers. We're small. We're just getting going here. Things are small. It's a numbers game, and whatever you guys can do to help us out will be tremendous, and we'd be so thankful for it. Doesn't seem like much, but to us it means quite a lot. So
yeah, we follow. We love teaching. We love doing learning with you guys, and we want to do more learning with more people. So
get the people involved.
Yeah, let the algorithm do its thing. You guys do your small part. Hit that follow.
Smash that like and subscribe. Do they still say that on YouTube? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Smash that like and subscribe.
The people I follow don't say it, but that's because I have a big fan base already. Whatever.
They don't need to say it.
They don't need
like
to say
us. Please help. Where else can they help us out, Daniel?
You can help us out if you want to buy us a little coffee. Coffee.com/doing learning. That's ko-fi.com/doing learning.
That's the one.
And guys, if you want more behind the scenes,
there's more
bonus content, more stuff
our
that
voices.
We are going to do silly episodes. I don't know. Maybe we do video sometimes. Like,
whoa.
I don't know.
We don't know what's going to happen.
We don't know it's going to get crazy, but we're going to do it all. But that will be only for the Patreon.
Oh yeah. Come find out.
And that'll be patreon.com/doing learning. Guys, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a hoot there. You guys get so much here, and we try to pour our hearts into these episodes, but we're going to show a lot of love to that Patreon and stuff that maybe, you're never ever going to hear outside of Patreon. So if you feel so to support us and support what we do, that if you like what we do, that's one of the best place to help us out.
Absolutely. I think at this point in time, by the time this one publishes, we've got a Discord up. We'll probably talk about it in other channels. But if Discord's your thing, come join us and chat with us on Discord. We'll link the Patreon to that one too, to give some extra goodies even within Discord. But we had a ton of fun tonight, Daniel.
Oh, definitely. Thank
you for listening to my old man hobby. You can tell that I am really passionate about my old man hobby.
You know what? I love it when somebody is passionate about something.
I love hobbies.
I don't care what it is. I mean, I'm a nerd. We're all nerds.
I'm an old man nerd.
And I mean, like, it's, I'm not going to lie to you. I will probably, yes, I will notice birds a lot more.
Yep.
Will I get into it? Probably not.
Nope.
But I'll appreciate it just a little bit more.
That's all that I love that. If you say, yeah, okay.
There's birds. And I've done it before. If we ever go on a hike, I'll be like, what is that?
Yeah.
I think that's what I will do.
People send me pictures all the time. What is this?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll help you out just because I think it's cool that,
exactly.
Take a look at the world around you. It's a very, very big place.
Yep.
There's some cool stuff. And that's what we're doing here, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot out there to learn about. So
for sure. Get out there, learn you some birds.
Learn you some birds.
We'll definitely probably link the app just in case anybody wants to.
I'll put the apps. Yeah, I don't have any. I did my own research today.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other research that it went into this other than what's off the dome. So I'll post links to the apps and a couple of pictures that we of the birds that we talked about. Because again,
some inspiration and whatnot. Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Got to see the bird.
Exactly.
So I'll post pictures of that. But again, I did my research, but I think you should always make sure to go do your own research and stay curious. It's like a dial tone.
I thought you had hit a button or something. I was like, what did you do over there? Doing learning. Hey everybody, we just like to take a moment to thank everybody out there that has thus far supported us. We do all these recordings and we love doing it. We have fun doing it, but we are paying out of our own pocket, but it does help when people like Liz D, Seth T, Irvin H, DaDog, Mouse T, and Kirk K help us make this little podcast a reality and, lighten the load a little bit. So thank you from both of us and all of the fans. Thank you for helping us make this a reality. And if you guys want to help be part of the Doing Learning crew, you can do so by going to www.patreon.com/doing learning. I don't know why I said www.